بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. I just would like to welcome you again in this important chapter of the Organizational Behavior Management 512 Leadership on Greensburg text. And we are in chapter 13, Leadership in Organizations. Today is Monday, April 13th, 2020. And I would like to apologize that this chapter took 3 sessions. And it's very important because this chapter have the theories of leadership. It's very important. It's the essence or the core of this whole course. We are going to continue talking about theories of leadership. And at the beginning or at the introduction or at the historical note, we talked about the power that leadership have. Then we talked about the first attempt to explain leadership theories through traits, okay? And traits and leader, and we talked about emotional intelligence and the trait man theory. Then we talked about behavioral leaders, behavior and leaders, and the second attempt was the XY theory. Okay, then other theories that follow, which is Ohio State University and University of Michigan theory, which roughly talk about the same. Then we talked part of it also LMX, okay? It was part of the behavioral theory. And then we have the managerial, the contingency approach and leaders. We have the Fiddler model, okay? We talked about Fiddler model, and we talked about Vroom and Jago. And then we talked about Hersey and Blanchard that we are going to talk. We stop here right now. And then we talked about horse goal path theory. And then the best of it all is the transformational leader. We stopped here, Giga, and let's go ahead and talk about the situational leader theory, which is adjusting leadership style to the situation. And most effective style of leadership, either delegation or participation or selling or telling, okay, depends on the extent to which followers require guidance and direction and emotional support. This is the leader's behavior, situational leader behavior theory, that we have the relationship behavior, amount of supportive requirement, and the task amount of direction are required. And then accordingly, we have the relationship could be low to high, and the task behavior could be low and high. And accordingly, we have 4 zones: S1, S2, S3, S4. And the S4, you use the delegating type of leadership, where you have low relationship and low task. And second, then we have the, this is S4. S3, we have participating type, which is we have high relationship and low task. And then we have the best of all is the selling type, which is have high task and high relationship. And then we have high task and lower relationship, and this is telling type. These are the situational leadership approach, or the Hersey and the Blanchard model or theory. The path goal theory, okay? The path goal theory talks about subordinates will be motivated by a leader only to the extent they perceive this individual as helping them to attain valued goals. In other words, this is the path goal theory. Okay, talks about leader style: instrumental, supportive, participative, achievement oriented. This is the leader style. Contingency factor, characteristic of subordinate, work environment, and perception the leader is being helpful. For example, eliminating obstacle. And then there are motivation or motivation to job satisfaction are enhanced. This is the path goal theory. Okay, the path goal theory also suggests that leaders adopt four basic styles. And this style, as we said, instrumental, which is directive, providing specific guidance and establishing work schedule and rules. Supportive type, which is establishing, okay, supportive type, which is establishing good relations with subordinates and satisfying their needs. Participative style, where leaders consult with subordinates, permitting them to participate in the decisions. And then the fourth one is the achievement oriented. And this is where the leader set challenging goals and seek improvement in performance. Now we have the leadership development, bringing out the leader inside you. Okay. Let's talk before that about normative decision support, decision theory. And this is decision theory has decision strategy. This is, we discussed it. We have decision strategy, A1, A2, autocratic 1, autocratic 2, and C1, C2, consultative 1, consultative 2. Best of them all is G2, which is a group decision. Now, the autocratic 1, leader solves problems or makes decisions unilaterally. This means alone, he does it by himself, okay, using available information. This is the first one, A1. A2, autocratic, leaders obtain necessary information from subordinates. He gets information from subordinates, okay, but then he makes decisions unilaterally. He makes decision again by himself, but he gets at least information from people. Consultative 1 and consultative 2. Consultative 1, which is C1, leaders shares the problem with subordinate individually. He goes to each one by himself and he shares information with them, but then he makes decision unilaterally. After that, he makes decision by himself, alone. C2, again, consultative, leader shares the problem with subordinates in a group. First one, individually, but second one by groups, okay? And meeting them, and but he makes decision again unilaterally. He makes the decision alone. So far, A1, A2, C1, C2, they make decision unilaterally. The leader make the decision by himself. Sometimes, but he consult. But and A1, A2, he doesn't consult. Okay. G3, the best all, is the only one where leader shares a problem with subordinate in a groups meeting decisions and and decisions is reached through, and the decision is reached through discussion to consensus. You see, what's the consensus of the majority, and the whole group reach to decision or consensus. Okay. Hello. This is the normative decision theory, decision rules. Okay. Rules designed to protect decision quality. There are certain rules to protect the decision quality. It's not poor quality decisions. Okay. Leader information rule. we have goal, congruence rule, and we have unstructured problem rule. The rule, leader information rule, okay? This, if the quality of decision is important, and you do not have enough information or expertise to solve the problem alone, eliminate an autocratic style. Okay, this you don't need autocratic style if you don't have enough information. Goal congruence rules to protect the goal. If the quality of the decision is important and subordinates are not likely to make the right decisions, rule out the highly participative style. Sometimes you don't need too much participation, okay? But this is where the goal concurrence, if people start taking you, in tangent or a sideways, but this is what the you rule out highly participative styles, okay? Under unstructured problem rules, if the quality of the decision is important, this is unstructured problem rules, okay? If the quality of the decisions is important, but you lack sufficient information and experience, and the problem is unstructured, eliminate the autocratic leadership style. Again, you eliminate autocratic. These are mainly trying to eliminate the autocratic style, okay? Rule design, protection, decision, acceptance, okay? Accepting rules, and we have conflict rules, fairness rule, and we have acceptance priority rules, how they accept the decision. Now, acceptance rule, if acceptance by subordinates is crucial for effective implementation, eliminate the autocratic style. Conflict rule, if acceptance by subordinates is crucial for effective development and they hold conflicting opinion over means of achieving some objective, eliminate autocratic style. Okay? Fairness rule, if the quality of the decision is unimportant but acceptance is important, use most participatory style. Then we have acceptance priority rule, اللي هو if acceptance is critical and not certain to results, but from autocratic decision and subordinates are not are not motivated to achieve the organizational goals, use highly participative style. Mainly in this type of normative decision theory, to eliminate the autocratic style and use more participative style. And in regard to leader information, goal congruence rules, or unstructured problem and acceptance rule, conflict rules, how to deal with that, fairness rule, and acceptance priority rule. Very interesting. Okay. I just would like to show you how complicated the decision making is made for leaders. This is the normative decision theory that we have just discussed, or the what we call it decision tree rules. Okay, these are the levels A, B, C, D, E, F, G until you get, and we discuss 5 types of organization of leaders style: A1, A2, autocratic 1, autocratic 2, C1, C2 اللي هو ايش C1, C2, and consultative 1, consultative 2, and G, which is a group style. Look, just to tell you how, or to show you how complex is the decision when it comes to leadership, okay? Now, if you use this model, okay, you start with, is high quality decision required? Yes. If yes, you follow this. If no, you go to D, okay? Then, do I have enough information to make such decisions? If yes, you continue. If no, you follow the other path. Is the problem well structured? If yes, you go this route. If no, you go the other part, the no part. Is it crucial for implementation that subordinates accepts the decisions? Again, if yes or no, you follow this tree. If I make the decision alone, is it likely to be accepted by my subordinate or not? If yes, you go further. If no, you take other route. You go here, you reach F, okay? Do subordinates share the goals that will be reached through solutions of this problem? Are they going to follow it or not? If yes, then you go to this type of, which is C2. If no, you go to other one. Do subordinates disagree about appropriate methods for attaining goals so that conflict will result from the decisions? But according to this decision tree, we have either A1 or A2 or C1 or C2 or G2 or G2. And according, I just would like you to appreciate that the decision making that a leader sometimes takes is very, very, very difficult. It's not easy, okay? Sometimes had to take very, very, very rough decisions, okay? Right. Now, path goal theory suggests that leaders adapt for basically, okay, leadership development, bringing out the leader within you, leadership development, okay? Systematically training people to expand their capacity to function affecting in leadership role. Okay, we have effective leadership is a source of competitive advantage. Effective leadership is a source of competitive advantage for organization and has three major emphases. Developing network of social interactions between people and close ties within and between organization. Developing trusting relationship between leaders and followers, and developing common values, shared vision with others. Right. You remember the 360 degree in human resources evaluation. This is the worker, and we usually ask people who work for him to evaluate him, and his boss to evaluate him, and his people within the department to evaluate him, and we ask people outside the department to evaluate him. And that's why we call it 360 degree, because evaluation comes from all directions. This third 360 degrees is also used to evaluate leaders. We use the same technique, the 360 degree, to evaluate leaders to see how effective they are. 360 feedback using the multiple source from around the organization, and for leader, we use also outside the organization to evaluate the work of an individual. It is used also to evaluate leaders to learn what people think about them. We have also assessment center, which is centers gives sessions in which a variety of techniques are used to determine how people behave under various conditions. And we have networking, and this is a leadership development tool designed to help people make connection to others to whom they can turn for information and problem solving. Substitute for a leadership. Do we have a substitute for a leadership? Individual characteristics is knowledge, commitment, experience. Job characteristics, highly routine, highly interesting. Organizational characteristics, working norms, cohesion, technology. And leadership development, okay? We use networking, mentoring, job assignment, and action learning. Job assignment, very important to tell us what type of leader this guy is. They usually give him tough assignment. They overseas assignment. They give him something very tough to test how good leader he is. For sometimes assignment also will make a good screen for the executive coaching, okay? Executive coaching is a technique for leadership development which involves custom tailored one-to-one learning to improve leaders' performance. Coaching, just one-to-one, okay? I coach him to become a good leader. Mentoring, employees receive help formally or informally from more experienced employees. We have job assignment on the best way, one of the best way to give leaders experience and exposure is to vary and exposure. It is very effective and indirect training for the leader. Action leader, okay, is techniques involving a continuous action leader is a technique involving a continuous process of learning and reflecting that supported by colleagues that emphasize getting things done. Executive coaching, okay. Step one, define the nature of the coaching relationship. For example, what will be done and how. Step two, assessing individuals' performance by using 360-degree feedback. Step three, customize a plan for development in consultation with leader's immediate supervisor. You go to his supervisor and you consult with him. Step four, implement the plan developed in step three. Then you can repeat the process. You can repeat step 2, 3, 4 until you get the right type of leader you have. طبعا we already talk about the situational factor that influence a leader. It's very important اللي هو decision making, his trait, maturity of the followers, employees' needs, leaders, followers, relationship type and use of power and task structure and the traits. I hope I did cover this important chapter because it is very, very important to understand what are the theories behind making leaders good leaders. And as we did see, so many theories, so many literature, talks, so many techniques, so many models. It's not easy. Is leader born or made? Genetically, some people, they have that gift that we said charisma, born. But also, situation will make leaders. Sometimes situation will make good leaders. Some people find themselves they are not in a leading position, but the situation dictates that he become a leader, but once he was a leader, he became extremely good leaders. Okay? It is very, very interesting. Okay? It is both. He is both born and made. And this is the conclusion for our chapter. I thank you very much, and I will see you, and apology again for the 3 sessions it took us, and I will see you next class, and you have a good evening.